nobody out. Couldn't score at the top of the inning. We'll see if maybe the Dogs can wiggle out of this.
Hello to the great Sanders Hickey. Good morning, Sandman.
Radio mogul.
Yes.
Here's payoff, left on left, lifted out into center with some carry. Lujo's going back. This one's got a chance. It's out of here. It's a 2-run homer for Ace Reese, and Mississippi State takes a 2-0 lead here in the first.
To quote Michael Scott, oh, how the turntables. Georgia had first 2 on, couldn't score. State now has a 2-0 lead, getting their first 2 on.
And you know that feels good for MSU. As Dave mentioned earlier, they were 0 for 11 RISP last night.
And that is home run number 9 on the year for Reese.
And here's Noah Sullivan, the designated hitter. State 2 scoreless, and the pitch that made us both raise the old eyebrows, that wipeout slider at 87.
That had Georgia State scurrying through their papers. Try to make sure they were seeing the same guy that they had the scouting report on. That was good stuff.
And Joe's a great kid. He's from Maryland. I asked him yesterday, I said a couple of folks have suggested, go back to the Robin Hood with Nottingham being the last name. I go, are you okay with the nickname, the Sheriff? And he got a big smile on his head. He said, oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. So, okay. So, henceforth, Joe Nottingham, you are the Sheriff. Hey, good job by Edwards, DJ.
Yeah, I was just about to say Edwards came in and settled everything down, so he retired both batters he faced, including a strikeout.
Great work. All right, so here's Joe Nottingham on the mound. A righty-righty matchup with Valencia standing in. Hits this one deep out into center. Lujo at the track, and the wall is gone. First pitch swinging. Vitas Valencias hits his first homer of the year, and it's 3-0. Well, that's State's second home run of the game, and they are rocking here in Starkville. Now to bring up the left-hand hitting right fielder, Jacob Parker.
So Vitas has seen one pitch this weekend.
Yep.
Jeff Davis High School for Mr. Duke Stone.
All right, here's Rylan Lujo. Lujo reached on an error to start the second. Stone's pitch. Line drive into left. That'll drop in for a base hit and score Jackson. There's the big hit the Dogs have been looking for. And Rylan Lujo, he is having a heck of a weekend. That is RBI number 19 on the season.
And again, taking advantage of the error.
I know I mentioned this earlier. I wouldn't be surprised, DJ, Tuesday for the PC game, or maybe when Georgia gets back into league play next weekend, to see Lujo slide up in the order, maybe in that 3 spot.
Drove in Georgia's only run in the third. So he is now 3 for 9 this weekend with a double and 2 RBIs. He's also walked. The grandson of Rennie Stennett.
Well, Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah. The late Rennie Stennett, who died a few years ago, but I always think that's a cool nugget as Rylan lifts this one up to deep left field, and that ball is out of here. Rylan Lujo with a 3-run homer, and Georgia leads it 4-3 here in the 5th. Another new Urban Forestry Feed the Left Field Lounge home run.
Lujo's 5th of the year. And he has now knocked in all 4 Georgia runs this afternoon.
How about that?
And how big is that challenge at first base?
Ginormous.
Lujo just red hot. And these Mississippi State fans are stunned right now.
They are. They just cannot believe it.
And they've got to feel this is a second straight game. But last night they were up 1-0.
Georgia now leads at 5-3 on back-to-back homers by Lujo and Hudson. And wow, that's one of the longest ones we've seen all year.
And he feeds the Polk Pavilion on that one. And for Hudson, his 12th of the season, that's top 10 in the SEC. His second year in the program, number 15 as a Bulldog.
7th time this year, the Dogs have hit back-to-back home runs. And it's 5-3 on another new Urban Forestry. I mean, that was Feed Southern Mississippi home run. That thing is gone.
Heads up in Hattiesburg.
No doubt.
Yeah, the Polk Pavilion gets a souvenir, and there's a Georgia fan doing the stroke clap. Do you see that?
That's fantastic. Oh, Fry this weekend is 3 for 11. Here's the pitch. This one's hit down the right field line. Fair and out of here. He is now 4 for 12 with his second home run of the weekend, and that ties the game at 5.
They got it out on that pavilion that comes jutting in, and it goes from 330 to 305, just to the left of Polky's pole out there.
Yep.
So taking advantage of that short porch.
So the 2-run homer. And we're tied at 5 as Valencia stands in, and he homered earlier in the game. I love going the other way there.
All right, here's Shaggy. He had the game-tying home run in the 7th inning last night.
We've now out-hit him 15-8.
Righty against lefty. The pitch. This is hit high out into left with some carry. Going back, looking up at the wall. It's out of here. Shaggy with a 3-run homer. Nunnally leaping at the wall. He couldn't get it. And the Dogs take the lead 8-5.
And what was he doing there, Jeff? Swinging at the first pitch, going the other way.
A 3-run homer for Michael O'Shaughnessy. He goes deep. And back-to-back games. And the Dogs lead it by 3.
So Lujo had the big 3-run homer.
For Mississippi State, 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Aoki, righty against lefty. The 2-1 to Parker. Popped him up left side. This should do it. O'Shaughnessy, Branch, Colby calls, squeezes it, makes the catch, falling back. The Dogs win it 8-5 in 10, completing the sweep of Mississippi State, and Georgia remains all alone atop the Southeastern Conference standings. Colby Branch, fighting the win, makes the grab. And what a tremendous come-from-behind triumph by Georgia here this afternoon. For Mississippi State in the 10th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and Nunnally stranded. Georgia is now riding a 7-game winning streak, and that is back-to-back sweeps in the SEC, which is so hard to do. Sweeping South Carolina, now sweeping Mississippi State with a midweek win over Georgia State. And going back through the records, we think this is the first time Georgia has ever, through 12 games in SEC play, been 10-2. And I got to tell you, Bulldogs head coach Wes Johnson is fired up. He is high-fiving and chest